My friend MK asked me to talk about my daughter Jerry. I had her when I was just turned 21. Her father was from Alabama. He was an engineer. We lived in Torrance Beach. I didn't know any. I was always the babysitter, like I was always babysitting, but I was never around family or people that had little kids, like I didn't know what to do with a baby. We didn't have a lot of that kind of interaction growing up. So there was this little girl from the time she was conceived would not stay still. She moved constantly in my tummy. Um, when I had her like in 6 hours. I had her naturally. She was so beautiful. I had a wonderful doctor. She let me pull her up onto my chest, and she was 9 pounds, I believe, 9 pounds, 8 ounces, 21 inches long, something like that. She had jaundice and she was really dark skinned. So they kept sticking her and testing her. My husband at the time and I both have Indian in us, believe it or not. And she just had this really beautiful skin, but they were looking at dark hair, a full head of dark hair. And they're looking at me like, you know, she wound up staying in, and I had her in a very nice hospital, Torrance Memorial. That's where Farrah Fawcett, a lot of the movie stars had their kids. They gave me champagne and steak dinner after I had my child. Spoiled me rotten in there. She got to sit in a sun lamp for like 3 days. They kept her in the sun lamp, and I had to keep coming back. I was trying to nurse her. And I'll be danged if the nurses wouldn't feed her. And every time I come to nurse her, they would be sitting there with a bottle. Well, she was hungry. I, I tried. When I got her home, I couldn't nurse her. And she was real restless. The baby wouldn't sleep. She wouldn't sleep. It was real rough. I didn't have anyone around to help. And then my husband lost his job. So he wound up moving back to the swamps of Alabama, living with his folks. And in a trailer in the middle of Tom Bigby and Black Warrior River. I think there were maybe 3 last names back there. It was Carlton, Alabama. We lived with his folks and his family. They were a big family. It was like a farm kind of a thing. I wasn't a slacker. I did all the cooking. I cooked 3-4 meals a day for these guys. I mean, there were like 6-7 people eating each meal. It was a whole different way of life from what I had ever experienced. And it was quite a culture shock. Another story for another time. She was adorable. She was as smart as a whip. She potty trained herself. She she just was. I couldn't keep her pinned in anywhere. She was just go go go. And then her sister was born, and she would sit there with her baby doll and rock in her rocking chair and nurse her baby doll while I nursed her baby sister. She loved her baby sister. And a little southern accent. She had the cutest little crayons. She was just adorable. When we moved back here, she did real well in school. Like, she didn't have to really try, but she couldn't really sit. She was, like I said, she was always moving, very active. Everybody loved her. All the kids wanted to be her friend. You know, she was really good in sports. She was like the star player on every team, any sport she wanted to play. She was a go-getter. She wanted to be accepted. She wanted to be loved. And that poor kid, she just needed someone to be there for her. I tried. I have my own, you know, I did the best I could. I tried to be there for her, but, you know, it just, life. Anyway, we moved to Las Vegas when she was in junior high, and again, she was like the star of the basketball team, but she was turning gangster. The environment there, you do not want to raise children in Las Vegas. Ever. So we wound up moving to Utah. Another culture shock. Mostly Mormon in this valley. She had a real hard time, but she figured it out, and she did beautifully. She, like I said, she did really well in school. She got the, you know, she was a star of all the teams, you know, but I moved her to an environment like my girls when we lived in Utah. Yeah, she could be the star of the basketball team, but she couldn't get a date to the dance. They're all, I don't want to go into all that either. But, you know, it's just, then we moved back to California. And I'm thinking, you know, it'd be a good idea to introduce her to our family, you know, try to get a life going out here because I'd gotten cancer. That's something I want you guys to know about my baby girl. As much as I hated it, she was always there for me. When I had cancer, she would be the one to go to the hospital with me. She was always there for me. She was always there for her friends. She was a force to be reckoned with. She was tall and beautiful, and she'd enter her room, you'd know she was there. Loud, her voice would just carry. Again, everybody loved her, but nobody was really there for her. I don't think ever. We moved out to California, and the drugs got, you know, the whole scene out here. I didn't just lose her. I lost me. I lost my other daughter. I lost my husband. Wanted a divorce. It just got so. I was battling cancer. They had to leave everything they knew in high school and come back out here. You know, very hard on them. She got into the drug scene. She tried to get out of it. She tried to build a decent life. She truly did. My folks put her up in a really cool apartment right down the street from her work at the beach. My kid loved the beach. The sunbathing she had as a baby girl carried on throughout her whole life. She loved the beach. And she wound up moving to the same beach where she was conceived, which kind of blew my mind because we never lived there. I grew up in that area. It's like her and I were both drawn to Hermosa Beach. And I still want to go back. But it's not the same beach I knew. Anyway, my daughter started getting modeling modeling jobs, and she was working for the set of Lost. She did hair. She was a hairstylist and one of the best, a color expert. I mean, she was sorry. That was my girl. Anything she did it with everything in her. but she was a train wreck. She wanted to be a star. She wanted to be famous. She wanted to be accepted. She just uh alcohol. What is that, Molly? The drugs now that are out there are terrifying. Ecstasy, just whatever. Uh, when she passed, some of her friends reached out to me, and bless her heart. The ones that shine so bright usually are the ones that go out alone. Everybody wanted a piece of her, but nobody wanted to stick around, I tried to. She was so beautiful. She was so loving, but the drugs, they just, she was intuitive. I think she was psychic, honestly. She just had it real rough. The opportunities were there, but I don't know. I could blame myself. I blamed myself, God, for everything. I was a shitty mother. I didn't know what I was doing. I made mistakes. I couldn't make enough money. I couldn't give them the life they deserved. I wasn't good around those normal parents. I didn't know how to be around all of that. I tried. I tried to be there for her the best I could, but no one was there for me either. So, we do the best we can. We honestly do. I loved my children. I never meant to hurt them, ever. I don't want to hurt them now. My mother did the best she could. All I know is my daughter wouldn't want me to beat myself up anymore. I know that. I don't have a whole lot of years left in my life. And no, my life isn't going to be what I thought it was going to be, but I need to figure out what it is now, because I do deserve some happiness. I've been apologizing for my existence since the day I was born. My daughter knew I loved her. She didn't blame me. No, she didn't come and see me, but I know why. I know why. Her last message was to me, I love you, Mama. I'm so proud of you. All I can think of right now on Mother's Day is, life is short. This mother still loves her family. She never stopped loving her family. But they have chosen to stop loving her. So, my beautiful baby girl. I wish I could do it over. I wish I could do it all over again. I know better now. I would know how to love you and be there for you now. And I really wish my daughters that are still alive would give me the chance. But I'm not going to grovel. And I'm not going to be treated like a piece of garbage anymore. I don't deserve that. I'm here. I'm willing to work through anything you want to work through, but it has to be through a therapist. I'm ready to tell the truth. I have nothing to hide. I'm sorry for any harm I have caused you. I'm no threat to you. I love you more than anybody on this planet. I was blessed with two very beautiful baby girls. And I'm very proud of both of them. My daughter, Cherry. She knows the truth now. And it's okay. Like I said, I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I can take comfort in that. My daughter knows the truth. I just wish my others did. But oh well. Hopefully I'll never have to tell you my other daughter's story. Hopefully. Quit beating yourselves up. My God. This world is not easy, and what we went through, if you're my age bracket, I know what you went through growing up. Our kids may not realize it, but, they will one day. I don't know what's in store for me now, but I know I'm really tired of crying. Good night.